This episode is brought to you by Omax and Upstart. More on that later. Let me tell you about some dates. This Saturday, I'm at the Ice House in Pasadena. Josh Potter will be out there with me, plus some other special guests. March 19th through the 21st, I'm at the Phoenix House of Comedy. March 26th, La Jolla Comedy Store. April 3rd, I'm at the Rec Room in Huntington Beach. And April 23rd through the 25th, I'll be in Vancouver. Go to ryansickler.com, check out the date, sign up for my email, and you'll get all that info there.
You're watching The HoneyDew with Ryan Sickler at your mom's house.
Welcome back to The HoneyDew, y'all. We're over here at Studio Jeans doing it at your mom's house. I'm Ryan Sickler. If you go to the Starbucks in this neighborhood, I'm Brian Sickler. Website, ryansickler.com. Ryan Sickler on all social media. Go sign up for my newsletter over there on the website. And I've got some dates coming up. I'm coming to Phoenix. I'm coming to... Oh, God, this year, where am I going? Baltimore. I'm going to be in New York. I'm going to be in Minneapolis. I'm going to be in Edmonton. I'm going to be in Vancouver. I'm going to be coming to some other towns, too. So go over to the website. Check out the dates now. I think Phoenix, I'm in March. So get over there. Let's get that going, all right? The website here, thehoneydewpodcast.com. That's where you find links to everything, the merch, the social media, all that stuff. And, again, I love all the messages. I can't keep up with them, so I'm beyond flattered. I love that you guys are digging this show. It's growing. The audience is growing. Everything's happening. So thank you for supporting the show. I know everybody out there is going through some shit. So you know what we like to do here. I like to highlight the lowlights. As I always say, these are the stories behind the storytellers. And today our storyteller, I'm very excited to have here. Please welcome Andy Roy.
Yeah.
Andy Roy's here, everybody. Welcome to the HoneyDew, Andy Roy.
Thank you for having me,
Yeah,
man.
thank you for being here. Our good friend Stephen Randolph said, hey, man, this dude's down and you got to have him on. And we've been trying to make it happen, so thank you.
Yes, of course.
And before we get into anything, because we have a lot to talk about, please promote, plug everything you'd like.
All right. Like I was telling you earlier, my girl gave me a list of stuff to say, and I left it. But and
Here, come up on that mic.
My memory's about as long as my downstairs, and that ain't very long, you know. So, Rip Ride Podcast. I got a Rip Ride Podcast, and you go at Rip Ride Podcast with Andy Roy. Andy Roy 18 is my Instagram. I do these Dear Andy, this advice column. You could go on my link or whatever, bio, some stuff. I'm like computer illiterate, so I don't know like all the names or whatever. My girl like helps me out with all that, but
she
like,
did help you out.
Yeah, she does everything.
She did her job.
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah, I have no idea.
Do you have a website, a main website you can go to see all this stuff? Or?
Andy Roy 18, I think, at yahoo.com, right? At yahoo.com.
I don't know. He said right. Yeah. He said right to me.
I'm asking you. Yeah. Do you know?
Andy Roy 18 at Yahoo, right?
.com. Yeah. And there's like a link in a bio and Instagram 18. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah,
Look at
the Andy Roy 18. If you could just type that stuff on a keyboard.
There it is.
There you go. Bam. There you go.
All right. Come up on that mic here. And please, let's just talk about your history. Where are you from originally?
I was born in Antioch, California. That's Contra Costa County.
Where is that?
That's kind of by San Francisco.
Okay.
And I was born there, and then I moved to Modesto.
I know Modesto. Okay.
It's horrible. I just lived there for like maybe 5 years. So I was like 11 or 12.
Okay.
You know, and then I moved to Santa Cruz. And
all right.
then Santa Cruz, this is where I pretty much
changed
grew
your
up.
life.
Everything changed. You know,
Yeah.
like I got into surfing, skating. And it just took off from there, you know. And then from skating, I just kind of spread out like Sacramento, San Francisco.
So skating is where Santa Cruz is where you picked that up. That's where you first started.
That was it, man. As soon as I got to Santa Cruz,
talk to me about that, because you were in the scene back when who was Tony Hawk was big back then.
Yeah.
All those. Were you back in the day? Because you're my age. So were you? like the Christian Hosoi, Mark Gator. Were you in those days? Because I remember the Vision. What was it? Search for
Animal Chin.
Yeah. I used to watch those all the time.
Yeah, that was the Pal.
Yeah,
Peralta.
Pal Peralta. Yeah.
Yep.
Were you
Bones
skating with that's right, Bones. Were you skating with all those guys back then, or?
I was the generation right behind them.
So
I looked up to all them. You know, like I seen them in the magazines. I was like, those dudes are rad.
So you like Bucky Lasik, or?
Yeah. Like I skated like against them. You know, like we were amateurs together. Like we turned pro like about the same time.
So I was telling these guys that I'm originally from Baltimore, and I used to play soccer. Yeah. So this is what's funny. So my cousins were in Highlandtown, and there was this great soccer store there. It was called Sports Elite back in the city, and we would all go to get our gear there. But out back in what is considered a yard in a Baltimore City row home is a concrete slab with, they built a fucking half pipe.
Oh,
so
rad.
There were only a few kids back then that could even do that were in the city. And my cousins used to tell me all the time, Ryan, there's this fucking kid. I'm like, there's no fucking kid, inner city kid from Highlandtown, skating his ass off down there. And man, was I wrong. It was Bucky fucking Lasik.
It was.
He would be down there skating all over. And he's a Baltimore guy. Yeah.
Dude, he's like one of the best skateboarders.
Yeah. And I love him because I'm a diehard, and went to his website one day and the Oriole bird dropped down. I was like, this motherfucker right here. I love him.
Yeah, he's all about like where he's from. You know what I mean?
Me
like
too, yeah.
He's proud of it.
I mean, look at this right here. Right there.
That's right.
I'm not fucking around.
Hey, and you got the Ravens, man.
Oh,
you
my
got
God.
They're headed towards the
I'm a 46-year-old man. I'm excited like I'm 15
That's
for this
right.
football team right now.
No, you got to have passion, man. Anything you're into, that's how I am, man.
That's
like,
it. You're
anything
right.
I'm into, dude, I'm like a little kid. I'm all about it. You know?
All right, so you're skating with this generation of guys. You're in Santa Cruz, and like what? So walk me through. How do you go pro? What happens to you get sponsored? Like how does that all happen?
All right. Well, I started surfing first, right? And all my friends surfed, and putting on a wetsuit, like putting it on until tight, and then I feel like people are checking out my ass or something. You know what I mean? Like I just felt like it was spandex. I just felt weird, and surfers are real like territorial. They're like kind of pretty boy. I don't know. It wasn't my get down. So I skated also, and then once I like got a skateboard and dude, that's what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? So skating happened, and I just would skate just on the street. Like I'd
That's
build
what I want to
ramps.
ask you. You were a street skater
Yeah,
first?
well, like you could step outside and you could just go. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's what's rad. You don't have to wait for like surfing, like a swell, or you know what I mean?
People don't realize. I'm telling you, it's so ingrained here still skating. I see people use skateboards out here in Los Angeles as a legit mode of transportation often. I see guys on longboards carrying 12 packs down the hill with confidence in their 30s and shit. You know, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
People skate out here. I see girls. I love when I see like a woman in her 20s, 25, headphones on and fucking skating. But she's going somewhere. She's not just like, we only skated to fuck around. I never I never used a skateboard to get somewhere else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never did that. I used it at the ramps or on the street in that area to learn tricks. I never used it. I would ride my bike.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, dude, my skateboard went everywhere with me. You know what I mean? Like I would feel naked without it. You know, like that thing came everywhere. Like that's just mandatory. That's like the first thing. It's just like, once I found skateboarding, like, cause this is what's so fucking rad. You could come from like a fucked up family, just whatever it is. Cause I don't think it's a sport, right? I think it's like art, like whatever that's coming from the inside, you let it out on that skateboard. Like if you come from a broken home, you could grab that skateboard and let it all out on that skateboard, on the curb or the ramp or whatever.
You
let
know
out
what
your
Seinfeld
aggression.
says about the skaters? You ever hear that?
You know what? I think
this is why our worlds collide. I love it. He had such a great point. He talked about the way you guys take your childhood traumas out on those. Basically, what he's saying is that those kids over there they're working at those tricks. They work and work work and work. Just the way like we go out and work on those jokes and work on those jokes. And he's like, those kids are going to be just fine.
Right.
Those kids are going to be all right because they're out there putting the work in.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Because like when you do a trick, like Tony Hawk, anybody, like you're not going to land it first try. You have to eat shit to make it finally, you know? and to be that like ingrained, like just I'm gonna get it. The concrete is not soft, dude. That thing, it's painful, you know. So like, just to get up and do it again until you make it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're gonna make shit happen for sure, you know. So like, I don't know, like I would just skate outside around my house, like up and down the street, transportation, go check out the waves, and then there was a skate park, Derby skate park, and it was like this little snake run with the ball, and it was rad, man. And I didn't know how to skate it. I got there and there's like all these local dudes, you know, they're older. They're like probably like, I was like, what, 12, 13, 14. And these dudes were like in early 20s, maybe like 19, 18. And they were older than me and they were jamming around, you know, they were just ripping it. And then I tried to get in there and I just got in the way. Like, dude, they ran me over. They spit on me.
Did they?
Yeah, dude. It was just like, dude, this little kid, like, you're just in the fucking way. So I just waited till it got dark when they all fucking left. And then I just skated in the dark. I taught myself how to skate in the dark. Like, I pushed around the ball and I figured out how to go down the snake run and hit the hip. And then until I got it down, then I showed up. And then they seen that, like, I wasn't getting in the way. So they let me in, you know. But it was tough back in the day. Like, it
but
wasn't
also you had
friendly.
The balls to show back up.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
the other thing.
You know,
half of it is just showing the fuck up.
Definitely.
You could have been scared and gone anywhere else, but they at least they appreciate it. But that's what I'm saying. That's that culture.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna put the fucking work in and you're gonna put the time in, then you can fucking be here.
Right.
And if you're gonna fuck off, then go fuck off somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah, we take this shit seriously.
Right, and dude, and it was pretty rad. Like, cause once I figured it out, they started being cool, you know what I mean? But like it's just tough love, I feel like, you know, and that just kind of makes you who I am now, you know, like them just being tough on me and like spitting on me, running me over. It taught me how to get in there and get
Hey,
something.
come here! Fucking love you, man.
Right?
That's that childhood hug I never got,
dude,
bro.
they'd sock me in the face, whatever, dude.
Man. You must really love me. That is thick. That had some thickness to it.
Yeah.
Man. I feel your love.
Yeah, dude. So like that, dude, I don't know, like that. I just seen these older dudes what they are doing. I was just like, dude, I want some of that right there. I want to do that, but I want to do it gnarlier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so then I figured that out, and this dude that worked at Santa Cruz Skateboards, it was a skateboard company. His name was Steve Keenan, and he was the team manager for this skateboard team. And he seen me skating derby, and I started getting all right at it or whatever, and he started giving me like his old used wheels or his old boards, you know, which were still in good condition, you know, and he'd hook me up all the time. And
was he a pro at this point?
He was a team manager, and he was a photographer for Thrasher magazine, where he had covers of magazine.
Of course,
like he actually grew up with Lance Mountain and Neil Blender and all these cats, right?
Those are guys I know, yeah.
Yeah, so he had been around a long time. So he was a team manager, flowing me stuff, and then there was after I figured out derby, there was a empty swimming pool that's been around since the 70s. It was like 74 or something on. It was called Buena Vista. It was out towards Watsonville. This house burned down, and there was a pool, and they emptied it, and people skated it all the way to, it's still there now, and people skate it. You know, it's a trip. And so they had a contest there. And well, when I first started skating there, my friends would take me after high school. I went to a continuation school, like where I got done at 12, right? And they would take me out there. And it was the same dudes that were spitting on me, and the same thing. They were just like, oh, here's this little shit again. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just waited till they split, and then I skate in the dark, and then I figured it out, right? And then I just like, dude, I love this pool. Like, dude, I just went there every day for months. And they had a contest there on 4th of July. Like, anybody could enter. All these older cats, pro skaters could enter, whatever.
And how old are you at this point?
Dude, I was like 17.
Okay.
Yeah, like 17. And I entered, and I won. Like, I won the fucking contest, right?
Yeah.
And that dude, Steve Keenan, was there. And he's like, dude, here's my number. Give me a call. I want to give you some stuff. So I hit him up, and he's like, hey, come in to our warehouse, and you could get some skateboards. We want to hook you up on the flow team or whatever. So I went in there. He gave me a big duffel bag. Go get what you want. Dude, I'm just like a kid.
Whoa,
you know?
He gave you an empty duffel bag and said, go fill it?
Yeah,
oh,
with
wow.
skateboards, T-shirts, stickers,
God,
wheels.
Yeah.
dude, it's crazy. So I filled it all up. Dude, I thank you very much. He's like, you're on the flow team, right? Like, so I get home and I show it to my mom. I'm all, look what I got, Mom. Like, this company gave me all this stuff. And she's like, where'd you steal this from? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, of course.
No, Mom,
right.
like, what do you mean they gave it to you? Like, for skating? Like, she didn't
You're out at night. You're coming back with new shit.
Right?
No, I'm skating. No, you're not.
It's crazy, you know? So, yeah, the skateboard company gave it to me. And I could go in there once a month and pick out what I want. So then,
would you say at this point you're a hip pocket, or are you signed by them? Like,
no, I'm just like not even on like the real team yet.
Okay.
I'm just like a flow guy where they just give me stuff.
They're appreciating you right now.
Yes, right now.
Gotcha.
So then, like a few months later, they hit me up and they're like, "Hey, there's an amateur contest coming up. You and your friend that also got on the flow team with me, Jason Monroe, rest in peace. They go, if you want to come to this contest, it's amateur. It's all the best sponsored Northern California skaters, you know, and if you make top 10, we'll put you on the real team where you go, you get to travel, you get to get ads in the magazine, you know, and so we went. It was in Washington, I want to say, and I ended up getting 8th place.
Okay.
You know,
you needed top 10.
Yeah, top 10. Dude, I was so nervous after my run. I puked. Like, I threw up because I was just so nervous. Like, people watching you, you know what I mean? And all these dudes I seen in magazines were there skating, like rippers, you know? Yeah. And I got 8th place, and they put me on the team. And then from there, it just took off. Like, they started letting me go on tours, giving me ads in magazines. And they ended up turning me pro because I was in high school. My mom's just like, when you graduate, it's either you're working, you're going to college, or you're moving, you're not living here. And I was like, fuck. And dude, going to work, I'll break out in a rash. I do not want to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. You know, so I'm trying to figure out whatever. So they put me on this tour, and they're like, after this tour, we're going to turn you pro. So I'm like, Mom, please just let me do this skateboarding, and it's going to work out.
So let me ask you, what does pro mean in the skate world? What do they do to make you a pro? Like, do you have a contract with them? Like, how does that work?
Well, back then, like in the late 80s and early 90s, you had the skate contest, amateur. It was called NSA, National Skateboard Association. And it was districts. So I would skate against all the Northern California skaters. And if I made the cut, like top 20, then you advance to regionals.
Okay.
And then that's when you met the down south dudes, the Omar Songs, the Danny Ways. And
that
like,
you didn't even know
Tony,
about yet.
Yeah, didn't even know. And then you ran into those dudes, which were gnarly. And then if you made the cut from there, you went to the finals. And then you met the back east dudes, you know, like Tom Boyle, Neil Hendricks, Mike Frazier, like these, you know, and then you get them all together. And if you make like the top 10 or whatever, you do super good in those finals for a couple of years, they ended up turning you pro.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you had to earn it back then. Now it's pretty easy to get to turn pro. You can take a couple photos in the magazine and they turn you pro or whatever, do a couple of crazy tricks. But back in the 80s and 90s, it was like you had to earn it, you know? So it was crazy.
So they're telling you they're going to turn you pro if you run this gauntlet, basically.
Right.
And you're trying to convince your mom to let you do that.
So yeah, so she goes, okay, all right, do your thing. Like she just like she thought it was cool that I got to travel. You know, like I never got to travel, so go get that. You know, and it was neat though. I got to go see the United States, meet different. Because I was real close-minded. I was a little shithead. You know, like I was very mean. Like I just like would like to push people's buttons, you know, I like to fuck with people. And it was usually people bigger than me. Like, I would drink and see all these stars. Yeah. That's how many times I've been knocked out. So
how many are on there?
I don't know.
It looks like a galaxy. I can't.
that big one.
There's more there than the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star book I read my daughter.
Yeah, that one's from a big old dude in San Francisco. I landed way over there. Like I got knocked out. Dude. Like,
let me see. Put it back up. I can see 6. I mean, you got like 5 little ones and one big motherfucker one. Yeah.
So like I would drink and then I would just go pick the biggest dude, you know, because they're always the tough guys, right? Mm-hmm. And like I go up to him and go, hey, you got a little peep, you know, you're big, but I bet you got a little peep. You know, I just do whatever I could to get under, you know, and I'd be like, if you knock me out, when I wake up, I'll shake your hand. If not, we're fighting, you know? And I love black eyes. Anytime I got a black eye.
Black guys?
No, I want like black guy. Dude, that's the one I use all the time. That's a good one. Black eye. No, black eyes.
You love a black eye on you?
Yeah, black eyes with black eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, dude, they were like trophies to me. Every time I got one, I just thought they were tough. And
what was it about? Like, what? I mean, do you come from a split home?
My mom took care of me. I
Your
never
dad
met my
wasn't
real dad. I
around?
met him once or whatever.
So there's a lot of anger and rage and shit
That's
going
what
on.
people say. My mom was super good. Like she took care of me.
I'm the same way, man. You don't realize till later, like you're like, oh man, I was so fucking angry.
Yeah, you know, like
you
dude,
said you like to push people's buttons.
Yeah, dude, I
you're
would fuck
angry.
with people crazy.
But you like the punishment then.
Yeah, I just take it. You know what I mean? Because it only makes you tougher. You know what I mean? Like, dude, and if I got 2, I thought that was like a score. You know.
So you were picking these fights in order to get beat the fight. You weren't trying to win, or were you trying to win?
Sometimes, like, dude, whatever. Like, I didn't mind. Like, if I got a trophy, I was well, that's cool. No big deal
It's
to
like
me.
Fight Club.
Dude, I got a black eye. I was all stoked. Like, dude, this is sick, dude. You know what I mean? And tooth too. Like, I always wanted a knocked out tooth. Dude,
nobody has ever looked at me in my face and told me I've always wanted a knocked out tooth. Not one person. I've met a lot of people in my life.
I just thought
not
it
one
was
of us
fucking
said
cool to have a missing tooth, right? Just a missing tooth. And I was in San Jose at my friend's house. Todd Prince, JJ Rogers, these older dudes that I looked up to. And they were drinkers. We'd all drink. And I woke up in the morning and I'm like, Todd, dude, I always wanted a missing tooth. I just think it looks fucking tough, right? I got my wish that fucking night, right? So I beat up this dude over a girl, right? And I went back to go get him again at a punk rock show. And I went there with Todd and my friend JJ and everybody, and we were drinking, and I was fucking with that dude that I got in a fight with before. The bouncers didn't like what I was doing. So they kicked, they were like, dude, you're out of here, whatever. I kept fucking with them. So after the show, we go outside, and my friend Todd, and he's from Texas. He's a fucking big boy, and he was like 10 years older than me. He was like known for knocking people out. So he bought a slice of pizza, real hot slice of pizza. So I walk out of the show, and he takes a bite, right? He's like, and I just slapped it right in his face.
That
and it
burning
just burns him. And I run across the street, and I'm like, aha, motherfucker, how'd that feel? And he's just like, I'm gonna fuck you up, Andy. And I was just like, how's it feel? Oh, you got a piece of pepperoni right there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he came across the street and we started fighting, right? And then the bouncers, seeing what we were doing, came out, split us up, and they started fucking with me, right? Got me on the ground. So when they split us up, Todd got pushed away, and then he fucking got loose and he ran up and fucking kicked me in the mouth, but he had steel-toed boots on.
Fuck!
And knocked my fucking tooth out. And I got so I got my tooth knocked out.
Did it break your jaw?
No, but it split my lip open. Like, you could fit a finger inside my lip. It
Come
was that
on.
wide open. So I was like, that motherfucker split my lip open. I was with this girl, and she's like, your teeth are gone. And I'm like, what? So I look.
Excited.
Yeah. I'm like, all right. So I look in the mirror, and I'm like, dude, I got a missing tooth. I got it. You know what I mean? But I was mad.
Did you find the tooth?
No, I couldn't find it.
Did you swallow it? You probably swallowed that motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. So, dude, I got my wish.
This is the opposite of I've been in a lot of fights. I have never one time gone in without the intention, at least, the goal was to win the fight, not get a black eye or not tooth. I'm trying to come out unscathed.
Right. Yeah, dude.
This is the opposite of every fighter I've ever heard.
Dude, I flossed with shoelaces. I was just like, you know what I mean? I was so stoked. Dude, I loved it, And then,
so you kept it out for a while?
Dude, for like, just till recently. Dude, like 20 years. 20 years.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so I fucking loved it, dude. I was so excited. Like, it was like,
shit.
You know what I mean? And you could go down on a girl, and then on their downstairs area, you could suck their little thing. And then, like, with your tongue, like a punching bag. I loved it. Like, dude, that was what that little gapper was for,
That gapper.
So, dude, that was amazing.
You 2 decades of pleasure.
Yes, I did. I loved it.
Oh, man, that is too much.
And so, like, dude, I could go on.
Shit.
So
Okay.
I ended up, all right, so we'll just stick with the teeth thing right now, right? So I had it for 20 years, and When I went to prison, so then when I
Well,
got
hold
into,
on,
all right,
hold on.
all right,
Let's go back
all right.
because you're about to go pro. Let's go back.
All right, yeah, all right. Okay,
I'll keep
okay.
us back on
All right.
online here. You're
All
about to go pro, and then we'll get into drugs and prison.
Okay. All right. So I get to go pro, right? So
At what age are you pro?
I'm getting ready to turn 19.
Okay.
Right? So I was on a tour. They're like, dude, after I wasn't getting along with one skater. They're just like, come back home. I was in Georgia or something. They're just like, fly back home and work on your graphics. You're going to turn pro.
And what are you doing? Like, because back then wasn't X Games or anything like that. What are you guys like? Festivals, or what are you doing? Or were it just starting then?
No, not yet. So like during the summer we go on tours. So we
like
would
the
like
Vans tour or something.
No, like skate shops. So
Okay.
skate shops would call the company Santa Cruz Skateboards, and we do demos. So they would set up ramps in the parking lot, or they had a ramp in their backyard, or a skate park, which was rare though back then. And we would come as a team and skate a curb, ramps if they built it, whatever. Just
Right. So
skate
you're
the
just
flat
putting on a
ground.
show.
Yeah, pretty
Gotcha.
much. Demos, you
Right,
know,
yeah.
and we just go around the United States and do
That's
that for like a
awesome.
month, 2 months
To be
sometimes.
18, 19 to do
Dude,
that.
it was so much fun.
I'll bet.
Dude, it was crazy. Like, it was just rad, dude. I went. It's the best thing ever. Cause then cause I was real close-minded, right? I fucking didn't like nobody. I was just like from Santa Cruz, and it was a real localism there. You know what I mean? If you weren't from Santa Cruz, you're a kook or whatever. You know what I mean? That's how the surfers were, and that's who I hung out with. Once I started traveling, it was like there's cool people everywhere. You know what I mean? Like there's rad people. They're different, whatever. There's hillbillies in
your mind
Alabama,
right away,
dude.
yeah.
Tennessee, they're fucking crazy. Like, but it's rad. You know what I mean? Like it's neat. There's other people out there that are rad too, and that are just as crazy and like to have fun too, you know? So traveling was great. That was like the best part of it, is to get into travel and skateboard.
So when do you start to get in a little bit of trouble?
So
And why? What happened?
in pro, like after I turned pro, I was traveling a lot, and I would come back from trips, and I would hang out with my friends from high school.
And you're living in Santa Cruz?
Santa Cruz.
Okay.
And my friends were drinking. They would start getting wasted, and they'd do blow, right? And we'd do some lines or whatever. Then I would take
And these guys were not skaters.
They were just people I grew up with in high school.
Right.
They surfed, you know, and they skated, but
But
not
they
like
weren't
serious.
pro and
No.
taking it for real like you.
Nothing. They were just hangout dudes, you know, have fun and just party or whatever. But I would come back from skateboard trips, hang out with them, drink, have fun, do some blow, whatever, and then I'd take off on trips again. And I'd come back and do the same thing. Well, I came back from one trip, and they started smoking it. They were smoking coke, crack, or whatever. They would cook it up with baking soda and cook it, whatever, get a nickel, and then stick to the nickel and smoke it or whatever. And I kept going back and forth, and then I came back one time, and there was this dude, CT, rest in peace. He died. He started doing heroin. He brought heroin.
Now, what, I know, not pills. He had heroin. Powder?
Tar heroin. Because
So how do you? I don't even know how you do tar heroin.
they were smoking it on foil.
Okay,
So they would
like
get a
heating it underneath.
yeah,
and
they
all
would get a
that?
lighter and a straw,
Yeah,
and
okay,
then they would,
that's-
you know. And I was just like, dude, I
And
had
you're watching them do this shit?
no idea what like there's consequences of this thing, you know, like because you get drunk and we'd just party, but these dudes were taking it to a whole nother level, you know, and.
And is anyone shooting or just not yet?
Not yet,
Yeah.
you know, and there's just like 5 dudes that are all doing it, you know, and I would come back, and then I went on a trip and I broke my foot, and I was out for like 6 months. So I went back to hang out with them, and I was hanging out there like every day. And after 3 days of smoking heroin, like you start getting, you can feel the withdrawals if you don't, you know, if you
Is it
don't
that
do
fast,
it.
huh?
That 3 days, yeah. And I was like, I had money, you know, from there's
Yeah.
Turn Pro, you know what I mean? So I had some checks, and dude, I went to my mom's to go visit her, and I didn't bring them with me or whatever, didn't think nothing of it, and got to her house, you know, went to go to sleep that night, and I couldn't sleep. I was just like fucking tossing and turning. I was sweating, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I couldn't, like, it was irritating. I felt like red ants inside my skin, just like crawling all over. And I'm just like, can't sit still, hot, cold, runny nose, whatever. I'm like, it's the fucking heroin. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, Mom, I gotta go. And I fucking drove all the way back from Modesto, because she moved from after they lived in Santa Cruz, they lost. They had a business and they had some problems, and they moved back because my stepdad was from Modesto area, so they moved back there. So I go visit them, but I'm like, Mom, I'm going back to Santa Cruz, and I fucking flew back and went and got some and felt better, and then fucking from that day on, it was just a nightmare, you know.
And every day you're using now?
Yeah, and I'm spending my skateboard checks trying to hide it, you know, and
your foot's busted, so you're not making any. There's no money coming in. It's all going out.
But then I healed, you know what I mean? And then I just kept going, but I'd bring it with me.
Were you able to skate while you were on
Dude,
this?
I loved it. Yeah, I could skate. I could do what, because I
really could, huh?
I'd get energy from it. Like I would get.
This is what it fascinates me about, because I remember, I think it was Andre Agassi was talking about how he did meth.
Right.
While he was playing, and he said that, I'm pretty sure it was Agassi. He said, if it's not, sorry, Andre.
Yeah.
But I don't think he ever won a championship during it. But he said he had never been more focused.
Really?
It really focused.
Yeah.
Like it obviously wasn't a good thing, but it did help him focus.
Right.
So you're at this point, you're still smoking it like this.
Smoking it.
And like right before you get on a board and go, or
yeah, dude, I could like right before and
But everyone I've ever seen do, I've watched people in Baltimore City fall asleep walking.
Oh, totally.
How are you How did you get energy from it?
Dude, I don't know. It just like some people got like a chemical imbalance. Like some people do it.
I mean, these people are just like standing up, sleeping.
Dude, I lived at this SRO in San Francisco, and I called her the hunchback hooker. She was a prostitute, right? And she would fucking get loaded, and she would just be like, and she would walk, and she would just
and keep going.
And so she had like a hunchback, but I would get energy from it. You know what I mean? It'd make me crazy. Like I came out of my shell, you know, like, and I just like go nuts and crazy. But yeah, some people just get smacked back. You know, I would get like that sometimes, but like it really gave me energy, you know?
So now how long are you using heroin while you're smoking before you start shifting the way you do it, or before it starts affecting performance? Like what happens?
Well, it's just like the more deeper you get into it, like there's just going to be times where you can't get it, you know? And then if you got dates to go travel skating or contests or take a photo or something, you know, and you can't get it because these heroin dealers or whatever, you're on their time. They know they got it. They know you need it. Mm-hmm. They're going to just take their fucking time, and you're going to be waiting, and they know you're going to be waiting. You know what I mean? So it's going to sometimes happen to where you can't get it, you know? Like I started riding for Anti-Hero skateboards. It was like my buddy I grew up with skating, Julian, and I just got on the team. We went to Florida for a contest. It's the first contest of me riding for Anti-Hero, and I bring heroin with me. And
you would fly with it and everything?
I fly with it.
Where are you hiding?
Well, I would cheek it, like put it in between my cheek and gum, you know, my butt crack, and then or I would get chewing gum.
So not
and wrap
up your
it up
ass,
super
but
good.
just tight in
yeah,
between
just
it.
in there, you know, store it.
But
or
you're
whatever.
not bringing the foil. You're just getting foil somewhere
No, I would.
else.
What I would do,
How
I'd
you
get the
getting
tin
foil
foil and
through?
I'd wrap around my toothbrush, like it was my fucking cover for my to not get messed up. You know what I mean? Like, because I didn't know if it would like set the alarm thing off or whatever.
I thought it would.
You know, and then I would wrap the heroin super good.
Oh my!
You become very creative. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no
like,
shit.
dude,
For real.
it's crazy. And
let's check this bag right here. This toothbrush cover, it's got heroin residue all over it. All right, you can go.
Yeah. So.
And you never got pinched on that or anything?
No, never.
And how many times would you say you have?
Dude, I brought to Australia, but this is before 911. You know, I don't know what it's like. I mean, I've done it after, but I'm just.
But just throw out a random number here. How many times would you say you've gotten heroin successfully through TSA?
Every time, probably like 20 times, like if not more.
Christ.
Yeah.
And you're not freaking out inside.
I mean, I took a little bit, but like.
Did you smoke heroin before you went through and did it?
I smoked it on the plane. I would go, in
you
the bathroom.
Heroin on a plane in a bathroom?
Yeah, I would flush because the toilet there is kind of like a jail toilet where it sucks it real quick, you know. So when you take a hit, you push the thing in it.
Hold on. Come on, walk me through it. Walk me through it.
So I'm in there, and it stinks. So like, you gotta be creative once again. And
there has got to be a club for people. Like they got the Mile High Club for sex. There's got to be a heroin club if you've done it on a plane.
Yeah. So I went to Australia once.
You get up out of your fucking seat.
Yeah.
On a domestic flight, you've done it?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Domestic is like a normal flight, right? Yeah. That's the.
And you just go in the bathroom.
I fucking went to Australia once, and I brought it with me, and it was a 20-something hour or 19-hour flight. I almost smoked all my shit by the time I got off the plane. I ran out.
And they didn't know?
They didn't know.
They didn't smell
I fucking ran out. I got sick by the time I landed. Like, I wasn't even fucking make it there yet and have fun.
Smoked all your
Yeah, that's how long that fucking flight was, man. Like, I fucking couldn't even, like, fuck. I had one hit left, dude, by the time I got landed on that
So you're
fucking
in there and you
under.
You cook it, and then you then you flush and blow the flush down in there.
Right, and it suck it right through. You know what I mean?
It doesn't stink.
No, and then
Or does that go away pretty quick?
No, it lingers. You know what
does.
I mean? But like, you get like a baby powder. Like I get like the little small one and squeeze it, and it would kind of like kill the smell a little bit. Like there's little things that you could do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to cover it up. But so I like it was like
I
that.
mean,
Like,
what would they do if you're halfway into a flight to Australia and they find out you're smoking heroin in the bathroom? There's, other than making the rest of that flight happen and arresting you when you get there, there's nothing they could do then. You can't stop that flight.
No. But as soon as you land, you're going to be going
you're
back. Yeah.
You're getting right on a plane for 20 more hours and going right back in custody.
Yeah. But there was like, I went to Florida to that contest. We got there Wednesday. The contest started on Friday. And then, and if you made the cut, it went till Sunday. So I thought enough with me. Well, I ended up running out on Friday. And Friday, I made the cut. So like I got 7th place. So I run out.
On heroin.
On heroin. And it was like the biggest contest of the year. Dude.
Can't even believe it.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? And then
Do you ever wonder if you would have got first or third or anything if you weren't on heroin? Or do you think that regardless, heroin didn't hinder that?
I don't think like, dude, either way, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even think like it was a difference. You know
Sober,
what I mean?
you would have still got 7th.
Yeah, like it would have went either way. Well, I ran out and I made the cut, right? I got 7th place. So in the thing, so I ran out. So now I'm sick. And I got to skate on Saturday.
Because it happens that fast? The withdrawal?
Like, so if I woke up in the morning and smoked it, you got till the next day.
Okay.
And then you're going to start feeling it. Yeah,
okay.
You'll get through a day. You know what I mean? If you smoke the nut, like you have to have a good little, like a nut. You know what I mean? Like, but so I ran out, and dude, I started getting real sick, and my bones were getting sore, and I remember going to sleep, and I was tossing and turning, and I was sharing the bed with my buddy Cardiel, and I kept tossing and turning. He's like, dude, what's wrong with you? And I'm just like, dude, I'm nervous, the contest tomorrow, whatever. And I would go in the bathtub, and I would soak my body, because warm water, like I would like take a bath, and it would help a little bit, you know what I mean, with your bones and stuff. And I remember I don't even think I slept, because you don't sleep at all. Like you're just toss and turn. So the next morning, I had to skate the finals or whatever, and I was like, dude, I told my team manager, dude, just get me a beer, get me some chewing tobacco, and I was just trying to drink to like kill the fucking misery, you know. And I was just drinking a bunch, and dude, I had to skate through this contest fucking dope sick, you know. And I ended up getting 5th place, and I won best trick.
You're a really
and
good
I won
skater.
best trick, dude. It was crazy. I was like, put Slayer in.
What was the trick?
Dude, it was where it was like a ramp, and then it was like a higher one, and so I like ollied up onto this one, going like backwards, and then I aired back into the thing, and it was like a real steep ramp or whatever, you know. But I just played Slayer, like put Slayer in, and I just would drink beer and fucking try to just overcome, you know, like there's nothing I could do. I just gotta fucking skate or whatever. But it was fucking miserable, you know, like. And then my team manager was like, dude, if you get top 5, we'll buy you. I'll buy you crack and a hooker. Like I'll hook you up, right? So I got 5th place, dude. I'm like, fuck yes, dude, let's go get the hooker, right? And I was like, I'm gonna get the hooker, and I'm gonna ask her where the shit's at, right? But there wasn't none, and it was all crack. So I didn't get what I wanted, but I got the hooker or whatever. But it was just stuff like that, dude. So you just run out, and it's just like there's just gonna be those times when you can't get it, and it's just this gets worse and worse.
I'm sitting here thinking about how talented you are at skating. So, I mean, there really is no reason at this point for you to think I should stop this because I'm coming in 5th and 7th anyway. It's not hurting me.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
it
I mean, there's
sucked.
no incentive to stop if you're, if you're LeBron James on heroin, you're dropping 35 every night. Why do I need to stop smoking heroin? Look at what I'm doing.
Yeah. The only thing was like, now I was young, so I was like, dude, I got plenty of time. Like, dude, I'll clean up, and then, you know what I mean? But then next thing you know, 5 years went by. You know what I mean? And it just ended up getting worse and worse. And
so what happens? 5 years go by. Are you still smoking all 5 years? Are you into pills? Are you needles? What do you? Does it shift?
I remember Jay Adams. I don't know if you know who Jay Adams is. Lords of Dogtown. You know that movie,
course. Yep,
right?
Yep.
He
Didn't he just pass?
He passed away
a few years ago.
Yeah, he had a heart attack or whatever. Like we lived together. Right? He was a real close friend of mine. He moved to Santa Cruz, and we became real close. And he's the first one to inject me with a needle. Right? Like I was always scared of it. I didn't know. Like, dude, that's how people OD, freaking out. Well, he's just
AIDS, anything.
Yeah, all that stuff that comes with it. And he's just like, dude, you're wasting it by smoking it. That's way better this way. And he's like, he was staying at my house, and he was like, come here, Andy. And he's in the bathroom, and he was doing his thing. And I go in there, and he's all, let me see your arm. And I'm like, boom. And he just goes, had it already ready, right? Boom, bam, and got me. And I was just like, it hit me, and it was like the best
tie
feeling.
off or anything. He just stuck it in your arm.
Yeah, like, you know, like you could do, you could do it like that. You can. So it felt so good. You know what I mean? It was just a whole different, like when it first hits your bloodline or whatever, it's just a crazy like pins and needles in your head or whatever, you know, and it's just it's a whole different trip, you know what I mean? And then that's just when it's just you're taking to a whole another level. You know what I mean? You can shoot I have no more veins. My veins are done.
Really?
I shot it in my pecker. I shot it. I started running out of.
Stop.
Yes.
Don't even say another word.
Yeah.
You shot heroin in your dick?
Yes. I had no. Dude, I shot this dude's forehead once. This dude.
Wait, let's go back to the dick. The forehead's not that impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, are you shooting it in like a fat vein on the side of your dick, or are you putting it down your dick hole?
No, not the dick hole. I wished it was that easy. I wished it was that easy. Dude, I closed my eyes and just like,
fuck.
And then boom.
I'm left and right over here. My spine is
like, so you have to find a vein.
Do you do a hard dick or a soft dick?
Well, it would be soft, but you got to squeeze it and turn it purple. You know what I mean?
You got to
swell it up.
So if it's soft, you got to stretch it out.
Yeah,
and
you got to
squeeze
fucking
and wait till the blood
cut the circulate so it swells up and get that vein going, and then, you know, and then bam.
And you stuck a needle in your
You got to go real
dick?
slow though. You got to because if you miss, you get the abscess, and then you know what the abscess is, right?
No.
Like I don't know if you've seen if you've been to sketchy neighborhoods where people
the bumps, you mean?
Where if you've seen people that got short nose sleeves on their shirt and they got divots in their skin.
Oh,
that means where they had an abscess because it eats that's where they miss, right? Or they just muscle it. It's called muscling it. Where they just get when they run out of veins, they'll just stick it in their muscle and they'll go shh. But if that needle's dirty or something like that, or you do it too fast, it could get infected or something, and it swells up and it just eats your muscle.
Ugh.
And then it swells up. And then you pop it, right? And this yellow gain, you could lose body parts from it if it gets too bad.
Damn.
Like I know people that died from them, you know?
Yeah, you've rest in peace to a handful of people here today already.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
And it smells, it's just like fucking death.
Bet.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. But
and you're risking your dick?
Yeah, dude. And I was very good at I was really good at
How many times have you shot in your dick?
I just done it twice.
Okay, I have so many questions. All right.
Yeah.
The first time you do it, does someone there show you how to do it? Or do you just do it?
No,
someone's already told you, or you just figured it out?
My buddy's like, I've done it before in my dick. And I was like, he's done it in his pecker. Then it's
So you shoot it in your dick's soft, but you stretch it, you shoot it in. Does it make your dick instantly hard?
It awakes. It wakes up. It wakes up for sure. You know what I mean?
Get the fuck out of here. But then is the feeling the same as in your arm or anything? Like, do you feel that same euphoria?
You do. It's the same feeling. You know what I mean? And it's just that you get.
So
that
why
tingling.
pick that? Is it because you were running out of veins?
I couldn't go nowhere else. And
are your veins collapsed or what?
Yeah, because after you do it so much, they just die. They just collapse, and you can't
So how does blood flow through your fucking body,
dude? I have to sleep on my back. I cannot sleep on my side either way because my hands fall asleep. And I have to stand up and walk around till they come back.
All right,
alive.
so you're shooting heroin in your dick. Where are you? Tell me exactly where you are when you do this the first time.
I'm in my friend's. It's a trailer park in Stockton, California. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Yeah, in Stockton, California, where it's miserable. Like it.
And you're in like a trailer in a bedroom.
A trailer in the bathroom. And it's my buddy RT. That's he died. Yeah, he's dead. His kid's name was Danger. He was like a convict dude, and he was a mean dude. He was very mean and a bad person. But so I would run around with him, and that's where the home invasions would happen too. Like I seen him.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Getting ready to do that. You know what I mean? But it just like as the longer I was in this addiction, it just you get into deeper situations where like after I stopped getting those skateboard checks, I had to start stealing. And I wasn't a thief, you know what I mean? I didn't like to steal. Like, I remember I was with these Serenos, these gangbanger dudes that were selling it. And I became friends with them. And they're like, oh, I was sick. And they're like, well, you got to go steal some foil in the store. And I was like, fuck no, I'm not stealing no foil. I just felt like once I stole it, they would see guilty. Like, this dude's, like, I would just get caught, you know? Mm-hmm. Well, like, you're not smoking until you get a spoil. Like, we don't have none. So I had to go in there and steal. Like, dude, I just, like, had to learn how to steal. You know what I mean? Like, shit that I never done before. I always had cash before. Now I'm getting to that level where I'm going to have to start robbing and stealing. Are you skating
at all anymore?
It started not happening. You know what I mean? I'm just hanging out with dudes that are...
shooting heroin in your dick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And hitting people on their forehead. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... it's a whole nother world, man. It's fucking crazy. Like, it's
you only
nuts.
did it twice. So what about the second time? Where do you and how soon
it was
between time one? You've done it in the dirtiest places you could.
I used toilet water before, dude. God. I flushed it like 3 times.
Oh God!
I used spit. I've used river water. Yeah, like it's like you know how it gets the mist on a leaf.
Yeah.
Like I used the water that's landed on a leaf and cupped a little bit of water.
So why did you stop shooting in your dick? Did you start to have problems?
It didn't last very long. Like the veins, it was just too hard. And
it's
like it's
collapsed.
a dangerous area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and it was just like they collapsed there. I don't want that thing to shut down
dick.
and not work no more. You know what I mean?
Dick. Yes,
yeah,
it's
my fucking pecker. Like that thing's done. I'm done. Like it's over.
It's a wrap.
Absolutely.
Let's take a quick break and tell you about our first sponsor, Omax. Living with chronic pain is the worst. We all know it, and a lot of us suffer from it. It's more than a feeling of discomfort. It affects your whole life. And many of my listeners probably have some type of pain that has prevented them from relaxing and sleeping or stopped them from exercising. I'll be straight with you. I took my daughter and I was spinning her around on my shoulders. I swear to God, I tore like everything in all my shoulders, like across. I went to the doctor, got shots, everything. It wasn't working. I took Cryomax. This is true. I put it on, and within minutes, I swear I felt better. If you're looking to get rid of nagging muscle and joint pain immediately, I'm telling you immediately, while providing long-lasting recovery, then you need to try the natural breakthrough pain relief solution, CryoFreeze CBD Roll-On, developed by Omax Health. It's non-prescription. It's a triple-action pain relief roll-on, specially formulated to block pain receptors, reduce inflammation, improve muscle and joint flexibility. The best part is this 100% natural CBD-powered remedy works its magic within 10 minutes of application, and relief lasts up to 8 hours, much longer than the over-the-counter products. Omax Health is offering my listeners 20% off a full bottle of CryoFreeze CBD Pain Relief Roll-On, plus free shipping. This discount also applies towards any product site-wise. All right, so go to omaxhealth.com today, enter code HoneyDew. That's OMAXhealth.com, and enter code HoneyDew to get 20% off CryoFreeze and site-wide. Let's tell you about our next sponsor, Upstart. Between hitting the gym, eating cleaner, or learning a new skill, there's a lot of ways we can better ourselves in the new year, but I can't think of one that's more important than starting the year off tackling high-interest credit card debt. My friends at Upstart.com are here to help. Upstart is the revolutionary lending platform that offers smarter rates to help you pay off high-interest credit card debt. Upstart goes beyond the traditional credit score when assessing your credit worthiness. They actually reward you based on your education and job history in the form of a smarter rate. Upstart believes you're more than just your credit score. They believe in you. They make it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate. And since it's just a soft pull, it does not affect your credit score. I always worry about that too. And the hard pull only happens if you accept the rate. The best part is that once the loan is approved and accepted, most people get their funds the very next business day. That's the next day, y'all. Over 400,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards or meet their financial goals. Free yourself from the burden of high-interest credit card debt by consolidating everything into one monthly payment with Upstart. See why Upstart is ranked #1 in their category with over 300 businesses on Trustpilot, and hurry to upstart.com/honeydew to find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate only takes a few minutes. That's upstart.com/honeydew. Now let's get back to the show. Okay, so skating's starting to fade away. Now you're starting to run with gangs a little bit, and what happens?
I remember.
And you're shooting all the time now? Is it always needles?
Yeah.
You're done smoking it?
Yeah, done smoking it.
That's you never did pills?
I would like to take them here and there, but it wasn't like my thing.
Because that's like the suburb way of going about it these days. It's the pills, then it goes to the heroin.
Right, because they can't.
They run out of the scripts, and now I got to go get the shit downtown.
Right. Yeah, I just thought that was like the weak way, pills. It's like, whatever. But I just knew, like, I started hanging out with these guys that would go steal. They'd meet downtown in Santa Cruz, and they would go boosting or whatever. They would go to Ross Dress for Less and Walgreens, Walmart, and still like portable CD players, electric toothbrushes, the Oral-B, the $100 ones. Like, so we would meet up down at the bus station, and then we'd go take off, and we'd go steal, like go to Ross Dress for Less. We'd go one way, the other dude would go the other way, and wear real baggy pants, jacket, and I would put 2 pairs of shoes in my waist, 2 in the back, like 4 pairs of pants.
And what are you going in the dressing room with all this shit? And loading up?
Right in the aisle. Even.
Really?
Yeah, like just where
you're not worried
angle,
about cameras or anything?
Well, some you know, like they're not, they don't work sometimes. You know, there's just like we just had certain stores down, and I put 4 pairs of pants under here, put my hand in my pocket, and then walk out. I mean, put it in the car or whatever, stash in the bush, and then go back again, you know. And then we'd go to the taquerias, and the paisas, the Mexicans, would buy them. They'd eat it up, and then we'd sell them to them. And then we'd we'd get their orders, what they wanted, you know.
Really?
Yeah. And we'd just hit up all the taquerias and make our money, go steal every day. So it was just like, that don't last forever. You're going to end up going to jail. So I knew that was going to happen. So I asked my friends like that been to jail. I was like, dude, what's it like? I remember I asked my friend, I'm like, dude, what's it like in there? I'm like, can you draw me what it looks like? So he drew it out. Like, all right, this is the top tier, and these are where the cells are. Like, because I knew I was going, you know. So
you really did.
Yeah, like you do bad things are going to happen.
Of course.
That's just how it goes.
And where's your mom at this point now?
She was back in Modesto. She's back home, and I'm just running the streets, you know, staying wherever I can. Like,
skating's done.
It's just done. I'm just.
They're not trying to bring you back, or they did, and it just.
They tried so many times, and I'd avoid them. I just like hit out. Like I lost weight. You know, I was just all tore up. Like I was so embarrassed. I just didn't want to be seen. They tried to track me down, and I would just hide out. You know, like I was just in that world. Like it's a fucking dark, evil place. You know, and I did it on the streets of Santa Cruz, Stockton, Modesto, and there are fucking evil people that, you know what I mean, that don't care.
All right, so after robbing Ross's and things like that, what does it escalate to next?
Those gangbanger dudes, and then my buddy RT, I remember I was staying at RT's house, and I was with my girlfriend, we were sleeping, and I heard some noise in the middle of the night, and I woke up, and I look up, and all 3 of them are gearing up. They're like putting all their gear on, dark clothes. He had a mask on. They're making sure it fit, and putting bullets in the gun. They had rifles. Like, dude, I'm just like, these dudes are gearing up to do something bad, you know? They took off, and I remember I went back to sleep, woke up in the morning. They had came back, and they just had probably 80 pounds of weed.
Jesus.
And a stack of cash. And they hit a
so they've been casing a place,
you know?
and just fucking hit it?
Yep. And And then I eventually started doing it with, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you do. You got to come up with money.
What were you
home invade, like kicking indoors, drug dealer, you know, and
not regular people, just drug dealers.
Just drug dealers, you know what I mean? Like
people who have money or
that,
product.
Yeah, that you know there's product, you know what I mean? And you have a certain amount of people.
You never worried about getting shot or any fucking thing?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I had a friend that did a home invasion, and he picked the wrong house. He had a BB gun. His buddy had the gun. He had a BB gun that looked like a gun, and it was it was a weed house, but it was some heavy hitter white boy dudes, and they seen that it was a BB gun. They snatched him up, broke his trigger finger, caught him, and fucked him up. Yeah.
Oh, they didn't kill him?
They didn't kill him.
Oh, man.
They didn't kill him. They cleaned up what they had going on, and they got him arrested. They cleaned up their deal, and he knew not to tell on, you know, because he don't do shit like that. But it could go wrong real quick.
So how many of these robberies?
I've done it a few times. And my friend.
I'm nervous listening.
Yeah, because you go in and you clear out these rooms. You got to go in and make sure every room's clear. And then you put the people in the living room, and you throw a blanket over, you zip tie them up, and you know.
This is exactly what happened to my friends. They had a bunch of weed, and they were running their mouth about it, and running their mouth about it, and I remember they came to work the next day, and they were shook. They were fucking shook. And these dudes came in. They had been casing the place for a while. They heard them talking about it, telling everybody and their friends how much they had. And my one buddy was in the back playing PlayStation, and they were like, "You need to get out here." And he's like, "I'm playing. You need to get out here." And he, he what the fuck was going on? He's like, "Whatever." And then a dude with like a fucking rifle shows up at the door, and he's like, "Get the fuck out here!" And they stripped them all naked, including his sister. There were like 4 of them. They did the same thing, like laid them on the floor. Yeah. And I think I don't know if they zip tied them, but they made them all lay there while they took everything. Yeah. They didn't just take the weed. They took the TVs, the PlayStations, the laptops, everything, and took their time. Took their time with it, walked right out, and they were like, if you all get up or call anybody, we'll fucking come back and kill you. We know where you are. And they were just done. That was it for them. They were done. Yeah. They were out of it after that.
Yeah, that's when you talk too much. You know what I mean? Like it's when you're in that when you're doing shit like that, there's bad people, you know what I mean? Yeah. And anything could happen, you know, and if you're not that person that is going to take it there, then you shouldn't be doing it, because situations like that, you know what I mean?
So what made you stop? You got caught? It's
just like you get caught.
Is that how
No, I mean, I didn't get caught doing that, but like, you know, I had done it once before, and the word got around that it might have been certain crew, and it was my crew, you know what I mean? And just like, it's just scary. Yeah, man,
and plus,
you gotta watch your back.
I was gonna say, probably extra paranoid now that there's a target on your back all the fucking time, and
they could catch me slipping when I'm sick or something. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just a fucking dark, evil fucking world when like drug addicts, dude. They have no feelings. They have no fucking sensitivity. Like, dude, they'll stab you in the back. They'll rip you off. You'll lose your dope, and it's in their pocket, but they're gonna help you look for it. You know, like, well, let's find it, but it's in their fucking pocket. You know what I mean? It's just, people just take it there. You can't trust no one. Like, no one. You know, it could be a dude you've been robbing and stealing with for months or whatever, and he'll if you got the opportunity and he's in that situation, he's gonna get you too. You know. It's
so what snagged you and got you into prison?
I was getting petty thefts. I was just like stacking them up, you know, just getting caught stealing, and commercial burglary, you know what I mean? Just over a certain amount of
what's commercial burglary? Like, what
just
were you
like over like $500 or whatever, you know, and then they take it as a commercial burglary or whatever, and I was stacking up petty thefts or whatever, and Modesto, like Santa Cruz, I had like a petty theft with the priors a 666. I would get like 5 or 6 of them in Santa Cruz. I got 2 in Modesto, and I got 16 months in prison. They're just like, you're fucking gone. You know what I mean? And
so tell me walk us through prison. Like your buddy drew it out for you. You knew you were
that was county jail. So I started. We'll back it up a little bit. So I started going to. So I went to jail. I got caught stealing. I can't remember what I stole. It might have been, I think it was a CD players, like portable and toothbrushes or whatever, the electric ones. But I went to jail, and I go in this jail, and I went to this tank that all my buddies were at, right? You're going to go to D unit or whatever. That's where you want to go. And so I went there. It's all whites and Serenos, you know, gangbanger dudes. And they sent me off to the Honor Farm. When you first start going to jail, you get to go to like Camp Snoopy. It's like a real nice place, and they have like a mild lap track. They got a softball field. They got
Jesus
volleyball.
Christ.
They got pool table, ping pong,
Everybody should
lattes,
go.
weights.
Lattes?
Yeah, contact visits. They feed you real good.
You can fuck while you're there?
Dude, like you could, people were hopping the fence at night and meeting the girl in the park, you know, like they had the dodge from the cameras, but it was real laid back. You could get yours, you know, or get little quick hand jobs in the visiting, you know, if you're sneaky enough.
And where is that?
That was in Watsonville, like the outskirts of Santa Cruz County.
Okay.
Yeah, Santa Cruz County, but it was like more towards Salinas, going south or whatever.
But you're also on heroin, so I imagine you're cold turkey going.
I had to kick, and it was miserable, man.
Yeah.
It was fucking miserable.
How many days is your first jail?
I think I got 3 months. I got
In
3
jail.
months. Yeah, in jail.
Okay. And
right.
you're cold turkey on it?
Yep.
And you got to kick it in there?
It's miserable.
They don't help you anything?
They give you like some little, like some anti-anxiety stuff. Nothing that works. You know what I mean?
No methadone or any of that stuff?
No. I heard they do that now or whatever, but dude, I'm just kicking, dude. And you can just see people coming in, and dude, I remember, dude, I was on methadone and heroin, right? And
Jesus Christ.
you know, like just the garbage disposal, pretty much.
Yeah, I hear you.
I got caught stealing, and I got arrested, dude. Dude, the methadone's worse than heroin. Like, dude, that shit.
That's what people say. I've heard that.
It gets into your bones, and you just want to die. Like, dude, I didn't sleep for 45 days. 45 fucking days. I am
Did you
not
start
exaggerating. Dude, yeah, like you
45
fucking
days?
like you would close your eyes for like a couple minutes, you know what I mean, but no sleep,
right?
You know what I mean, and you just fucking are so miserable, cold, and dude, you're in a harsh environment too, where like anything could go jump off.
You were awake for 45 straight days.
45
in jail?
Days. 40. And I am not exaggerating.
All the withdrawals on top of that as well.
Because I was kicking both of them, and that methadone that gets into your bones and stuff, and dude, it's fucking. You just want to die. Like, dude, it was insane. But like, so I would go to these honor farms, you know, and then there's a lot of fun activities you could do there, you know. Like I started making fifis, pocket pussies.
What?
Right? Yeah. And I would sell them to the
So
Pisces.
how do you make one? I once heard Scott Weiland before he passed.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, will you?
Can you have me on again,
Yeah,
and
of
I'll
course.
bring you a
pocket
present?
pussies for everybody.
Yeah, I'll make them for all you guys.
Pocket pussies for all the
Yes.
guys. Blue band, everybody.
You guys will never use your hands again.
Pocket pussies for everybody,
Yes.
guys. You'll never use your hands
dude,
again.
You can make a virgin, a butthole, a bar slut, whatever you want. Dude, it's amazing.
You got models.
Yeah.
I love it.
Dude, you can glue it to your gooseneck of your bike and fucking if
Fucking
you
while
want.
you're riding
Yeah.
your bike.
You know, like going uphill.
Have you done that?
Get off and
Have
like
you done
ride
that?
it, and then when you're going downhill, you can just make love to it, coasting. You know, like
Love to.
Yeah.
Fuck it on the way up the hill. Make love
like
to
power,
it on
you
the
know,
way
like,
down.
Yeah, dude. I want to make these and rent them. Like rent them.
Rent them.
You know what I mean?
I don't want to rent a fucking pocket pussy.
What?
You, should just,
Like, you can hump while you're
why
riding
would
a bike.
you lease it?
Yeah.
Who wants a pot? I don't want to put my dick in a dirty pocket pussy.
It's a recyclable. You clean them out. So like, I make them.
no,
like,
bro. You got to
see,
make
I'll
one. They
make
got to
it,
be
yeah.
one-offs.
Yeah.
Don't be bringing
They're
us
cheap.
used ones. We want fresh out of the box.
They're all fresh ones. I promise you. Yeah, they're good.
Wait. I remember hearing Scott Weiland talk about how they did it in prison too. They would take like was it a rubber glove and inside a sock turned inside
You
out
could
or
do it that
something like
way.
that? Yeah. So what are yours?
Or you
Tell
could
me.
use a towel. Like
do you
I
call
would
it?
use a fifi.
A fifi. Okay.
Yes. And I would get a towel or a t-shirt. And you just fold it to about like, so much into a square, and you get the rubber, the glove, and you stick the end part out, like just a few inches, like a half inch
That's
out.
the pussy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the
and
birth
then
canal.
you roll it up,
Okay.
and then you pull that thing over, like, so if it was inside that, and that thing's hanging out, you over.
Got it.
And then you stick your wiggler right in there and just go to town. You know what I mean? But you use like a rubber band or a shoelace or whatever. You know what I mean?
What do you use for the bar slut? What is she? She's like a
so
twisty.
You can make it tight. You can make it a little looser, like whatever you want.
Yeah.
If you like buttholes, you could do a little fucking real puckered starfish. You know what I mean? A real fucking clamper in there.
Let me tell you something. I gotta be honest with you. This prison shit sounds pretty all right to me.
Dude, I had a blast. Let me tell you, dude. Like I fucking had fun. Dude, I would go in the showers at this honor farm, and dude, they had if you didn't have your own soap, they had this powdered soap, and like drop the soap. Mm-hmm. Well, I would go in there, and there was like 5 shower heads, mm-hmm. and I would go in there, and I was so much fun. I'd push them all, and I would tuck my shit between my legs, and I would like a merry-go-round, would run around like, because there's Andy and there's Andrea. I'd always do that. I'd tuck my stuff. And I'll be like, come on, guys, come on. And I grab a big old thing of the powdered soap, throw it on the ground. Can you guys pick that up? Because, powdered soap, you're going to be down there for a while picking it up. And no one would take showers with me. Like the biggest dude that was in jail, he was a monster. He was like,
by the way, which is everyone's fear is getting ass raped in prison. Yeah, and you're in there willing.
Yeah, the 7-footers go into the shower, and I'm like, oh, you're taking a shower? I'm like, I'm gonna go get my towel, and he's like, fuck, dude, I'm not going in there. Andy's taking a shower. Like, I'm like, god damn it, you wouldn't take a shower with me, because it's called sex playing. We would fuck with each other, So. This honor farm was amazing, right? Like, they had a birdhouse, right? Like a koi. What is?
I don't have any of this.
I know, it's beautiful. Like it was like, and this was.
And the state's paying for this, or we're paying for this?
Yeah.
We're paying for this.
Yeah.
We got a koi pond I can't even visit.
Yeah. So
a pussy I can't fuck. Goddamn, a fifi.
Yeah.
Somebody else is fucking my fifi right now.
Yeah. So this me and my buddies got an idea. This birdland's got like peacocks. They got ducks, all this stuff. Well, there was a greenhouse, and we wanted to go have a jack-off contest, right? And you get magazines in there. You could have, and you get naked magazines. You just can't get the penetration magazines. But
So
we would sneak
Playboy,
away.
but not Hustler.
Yeah, but I mean, we get a hold of them, But so we were gonna have a jack-off contest. Whoever could jack off the quickest. So one guy goes in the greenhouse, does their deed. One guy won 1,000, and the other guy keeps point, right? So we go into the greenhouse, and there's a guy that works in the greenhouse.
So each person individually goes in and jerks off in the greenhouse?
Right. So we go in there, and then...
It's not an old-fashioned circle jerk.
No.
Okay.
You go one at a time, and you could see, like, when the sun hit, you could see, right? So
Sounds beautiful.
My buddy goes in there, and he's fucking getting it, dude. He's, like, getting it. And he fucking knocks one out in like 30 seconds.
Come on, man.
Dude, I'm like, dude, that's
shit
fucking...
you do when you're like 13 and 14.
Yeah. Well, you got to pass time, and you got to make...
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so.
You'll come up with whatever you can when you're just trying to pass... you know what I mean? So my other buddy goes in there, and he's in there for a minute. Like, dude, he's taking some time, right? And he's like, fuck. And he comes out, and he's like, fuck, man, I can't fucking jack. I can't do it, right? Well, he's got blue balls. That's his luck. He lost, right? I go in there, and I get like, I think I got 40, 50 seconds. So my buddy won, right? So we go for...
I mean, you still go pro, right? Top 5.
Yeah, right? Yeah, right? So we go, and we keep doing this. Well, the guy that's watching the Birdland area finds out we're jacking off in the greenhouse. And he's like, fuck no, like, you guys aren't fucking jacking off in the greenhouse. So I go...
And where's everybody finishing, by the way? Just on the
you
floor?
Shoot it right
there?
on the ground. It's like rocks, you know what I mean? That's why you got mad. And like, he's like, you guys aren't jacking off in here no more, right? Like, fuck you.
No more.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, yes we are. So I got the fucking... He locked it. When did I say? So I know the lock. We got locks to our locker, right? So I went and got the serial number off the back, and I went up to the module, and I asked the guard, like, hey, I lost the lock, my combo. Can I get it? And I gave him the serial number, which was the one to that. And so I got the combo, and we snuck back in there. Well, he fucking went and told on us. And when we were jacking off, I came after I was jacking off, right? I come out, and I hear all this clapping. Everyone's all... And I'm like, what? And they're all, hey, dummy, you fucking... look at the sun. Like when the sun was fucking hitting the greenhouse, you could see my silhouette of just like fucking getting it, right? And the yard was right there, so everyone could see it. You know what I mean? You fucking dummy, we could see you fucking like a big shadow of you guys fucking tugging on it, you know? I was like, well, fuck, why didn't you guys say something, motherfuckers? Yeah. Dude, fucking, it was fucked up. So they caught wind, we got told on, and so now the sergeant's a lady, and she's going around asking everybody, who's jacking off in the fucking greenhouse, like who in Birdland? Who's been jacking off, you know? And we stopped doing that, of course, and it was rad. And there was a koi pond, right? Koi fish.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to bother my family for money on my books, so I would do different stuff to make money.
Like what?
So the paisas, the Mexicans were all, dude, I'll give you $10 if you stick your fucking wiggler in the fucking koi fish pond and make it nibble on your pecker. And I'm like, you fucking betcha, buddy. And I fucking unzipped my shit and I stuck my wiggler right in there, and that koi fish goes, and it sucked right on it, dude. Just clamped onto my fucking.
Did it hurt?
It just tickled. It was like a little tickler, dude. It was like, and it sucked onto it, and it tried to take my.
You're the only person I know in my
stretched
life
it a little bit, and I fucking
never
jumped back
got
up.
a fucking dick sucked by a fish.
And I got $10, dude, and got a kiss by a koi fish. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
It was fucking. So I do fun shit like that. It was fucking. I was $10, dude.
Jesus Christ.
That's a pack of smokes or soups or something.
I bet, yeah, that's a lot in prison.
Yeah.
Wait, you're still at the fun farm. You're still
Yeah.
At the all right, so when does the fun end and shift to prison?
Yeah, so that
what is
ends
that like?
as you start getting more charges.
Because you're getting out each time, right?
Right.
Like what's an average stay at the fun farm? 3 months, you
Yeah,
said?
you could. I've done a year there. You could do up to a year, and then like
seems
anything
nice.
after a year, you go to prison. So like my charges started stacking up. Then I started going
when
to
you
where.
say stacking up, like they're still like coming in.
Yeah,
while you're in
I'm
prison?
getting felonies still. You know, I'd
While
leave
you're
and
in-
come-
oh, 'cause you
I would
leave.
do that
Okay.
too, and I would, you know, dude, I remember we did speed in jail, and I was up for 3 days. Like my buddy was getting speed shot on a postcard, like a happy birthday card. But it'd soak it, you know, like they would put it in
And
a
then
needle.
dry
like,
it out.
No, and you just put it on your tongue, like you rip a piece of it off, put it on your tongue.
And then, like, so he would get this card. It would be speed would be already in it.
Soaked on it, but you can't tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then mail time, you
And
know,
you guys would sit there and just eat the
fucking
card.
being up for days, dude, and it was fucking.
I wish
nuts.
prison minds would put their minds to fucking positive shit, because this world will be unstoppable.
I know,
It
right?
will be unstoppable.
I'm telling you, yeah.
All right, so your felonies are stacking up, and now how old are you when they finally say you're going to prison?
I was in my mid-30s. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
And how old are you now?
I'm 48. Like,
So not that long ago.
yeah, it wasn't like I've been out of trouble. Like it's been 10 years since I've been in trouble. So what? Like
Are you on forever probation?
No, I'm done. I don't got nothing. I should
really?
be. Yeah, I'm clean slate. You know, like
Good
I
for
have
you.
nothing.
All right.
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
All right, so mid-30s. What is the final straw that you're in court and they tell you?
I got six. I got 16 months was my last time, and or
For
my
what?
first time for petty theft with the prior in Modesto. That was
what
my first time.
What was
right?
it you
And,
stole that put you in prison?
What was I stealing? It was,
I gotta know.
It might have been. It was makeup.
What kind of makeup? What the
For
fuck are you
girls, like you
thinking,
get
man?
orders
Yeah,
from
what do you-
people, you know, and some of that
Oh,
stuff's
this is a
expensive.
request.
You know,
I
a
see.
request,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a lit, you know, and
What are you, like, hitting up Sephora and just robbing them
yeah,
blind
like,
and shit?
yeah, and you get the expensive stuff, you know, and
you got caught?
I got caught. So
where?
actually,
In the where?
out and that they have like the what is it called?
How'd they catch you?
What's it called? The little fake cops.
Mall security?
They're
Rent-a-cops?
they're not Homeland. I forgot the name, but there's a name where they pretend they're shopping and they're not.
Oh,
and,
undercover.
Yeah, they're like
yeah.
undercover, whatever.
Yeah.
They seen what I was doing and went outside, and I took off booking it. And I was in Modesto, and I was wearing a blue flannel. Well, a bunch of Norteños, seeing I was wearing blue, they wrapped me up and caught me until the cops came. So whatever, I went to jail.
Because that's not their colors?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like usually they like you
Yeah,
go like it's
yeah.
they don't care, you know, whatever. But So I got 16 months, dude, and I remember going, and I was getting ready to jump on the Grey Goose, the bus, to go to prison, and I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're in. Okay, so hold on. So you go to court.
Yeah.
And then the judge says,
well, they're like, you could do drug court for, or you could do 16 months in prison.
What's drug court?
Where you go for a year and a half to this gnarly drug court, like every day you gotta go to meetings, all this shit. They were gonna. So I said, I want prison. Like I could have got out.
Prison.
Like, yeah, I could have got out that day.
The guy that
I could have got out that day. Yeah, dude. I was just like, because I knew
you want your teeth knocked out, you want black eyes, and you pick prison.
I'm gonna go get tattoos and stuff. I want to go get free tattoos.
I wanted to ask you which one of these or how many of these are prison tattoos.
They all are. I made all
Every
the
one
myself.
Of them?
I made all the
Wow.
This is all homemade ink.
Who's the baby
I made
here?
it all. Oh, that's like a baby cherub.
And who's
and
this?
then my kid.
Wow, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks great.
It's
I don't know
hair
what your
grease.
kid looks like, but it looks like a baby. Yeah,
hair grease. You know what I mean? Like it's stuck pretty good. All single needle from like a CD.
Yeah.
Like, And,
Good God.
Yeah.
All right, so you could have walked. You could have gone home that day. You
Yeah.
said, "I'll take prison." They take you right from there, don't they?
What take? No. You wait like up to a week.
But you're in a holding cell.
No,
or?
I'm in a jail cell.
Okay,
You know what I
you are.
mean?
All right.
And so I'm.
They're not letting you go home before.
No,
Yeah, right.
no, you get to go. And I remember when they called me downstairs and put me in they call it the bullpen. It's like a little cell where you're with the other guys that are going to prison. And there's a white boy in there, and he's just like, "Oh, you're heading."
So you don't. None of these tats are on you at this
I got
point.
some, you know what I
Okay.
mean? Like I had my head tattooed, and I had
Black
some
flag. When
Yeah,
there
yeah.
Was,
I got
that's
some.
prison.
Yeah, I got this.
How
in
long
prison.
did that? I mean, that's all black. Like, how long did that
It's a
take?
cover up. I had a girl's name under there. I had
There
to
you
get
go.
cover
Good
that
one.
sucker up.
Good choice.
You know what I
Good
mean?
choice. Yeah.
Yeah. So this dude's like, just was running down like how it goes. You know what I mean? Like if you get in a riot, you want to be in the middle, let the people stand the front line. He's just running everything down to me. And I remember when you go to reception. It was Tracy DVI. It was a reception where you stay there for 30 days and you see a parole board, and then they tell you where to go. Mm-hmm. And so I'm celled up with him. He's telling me, or on the way there, we catch wind that it's on site with Peckerwoods and the Norteños over a tobacco debt that white boys didn't pay. And it was on site.
I mean, without having
on
to
site
say
means as soon as the
white
Norteño,
boys. I knew Peckerwoods were white boys immediately. Yeah.
Right.
So it's over a tobacco debt.
Yeah.
And that's like a big deal then.
they didn't pay it.
They didn't pay it,
And
so now there's gonna be a
it
riot.
just got a whole like you're.
And this is how many days are you in prison when this shit's?
I wasn't even there yet. I like fucking find out that it's going on.
That's what you're going
Yeah,
into.
that's what I'm going into.
Holy
Like, dude, it's on site.
You mean a white boy? Another white boy's coming in. Yeah.
So, and what they were doing was, so you're there. It was locked down. You're locked down though, right? Because they knew what was going on, the guards and stuff, and so they take you out 5 at a time to go to the shower, right? And it's mandatory you wear your shoes to the shower, because if anything pops off, you got your shoes on. You're not in your fucking shower shoes and caught off guard, like you got to be ready. But what was going on? They were getting the toothpaste lids,
Mm-hmm.
and they're wedging it in the door, right? So when the Woods walk by, they could pop the door open and get you while you're fucking walking by. You know what I mean? So this was going back and forth, and this is what I walk into. I'm just like, and just seeing this prison, like the gates and fucking.
Where's the car, Pa?
Yeah.
Where's the car? I want to stick my dick in a fish's mouth.
Yeah. I want to go back to I want to go back to the fucking Camp Snoopy.
Holy shit.
Fuck, man. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez. So like, now you're on a whole other level,
Yeah,
dude,
man.
where you're
Fuck.
showering with fucking grown ass men with like.
You tucking your dick and running around in that
I
shower?
started doing that though. I did. Later on, I did.
did,
The
yeah.
Mexicans got mad. Yeah, they didn't like that shit at all. Like, yeah. Now you're with grown ass fucking men that don't fuck around. You know what I mean? But I was still testing the water. Like, all right, well you can't do it right there. Because white boys are just like, we just do whatever the fuck we want. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we got stuff we got to go by, but it's we just have a little bit looser. Like we have more fun with it. Like they're real strict, organized. You know, like they got a whole different program or whatever. Other cliques or whatever. But, dude, it's just like, yeah, you're on all like just seeing like these big tiers. It's like 4 tiers, dude.
4.
And like doing like in the morning and at night, like every clique like will sing like good night to all my woods out there, and they say their deal or whatever, and like, yeah, it's just like you're with grown ass men now, and
like who was the baddest motherfucker in there?
I was with one of my sellers was like, Mayhem.
Mayhem was his name.
He was a mean motherfucker.
White dude.
Yeah, white boy. Yeah.
And he was one of the people you just don't fuck with.
Yeah,
no one
he's
will
just
fuck with
a
him.
fucking monster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he had mitts, man, just huge. Yeah. And you know what? Like you can't underestimate anybody. Like there's some yards where there's like a no hands policy where it's only stabbing. You can only.
What do you mean?
Where you don't fight with your fist. You fight with the
prison rule. Among the inmates, the rule is it's shank only. Yeah, and the guards let you do that.
No, they don't let you, but you just that's just what goes down with the convicts in there. You know what I mean? Like it's just you don't pay a debt. You could fucking over a 24-cent top ramen. You don't pay it. You fucking get stabbed for that. You know what I mean? Your word's all you got.
I watch this prison shit all the time, and one of the things I didn't know that scared the fuck, because like I said, I'm not built for prison. If they said I was going away, I'd pass out. I'd be like,
it's fucking crazy.
There was a guy who they said never borrow money, don't do any favors, and this guy went into like what is it called, the commissary, where you can buy
where you can go to the store,
and I guess he asked the dude like, hey, can you spot me and I'll give you the money back, and the guy was like, okay. And then some other badass dude came and bought his debt, said I'm gonna pay that debt, and now this motherfucker is his, owes him.
Yeah.
And that's why they said don't ever do that, because that guy's gonna be like, yeah, no problem, take your fucking problem now.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Now you owe them, and they could tell you to go do whatever the fuck you need to do.
Yeah. And if they're not with the clique or whatever, you know what I mean?
Did you have any fights? Were you ever in any kind of trouble? Or
yeah, I've gotten into fights, dude.
In
prison, I've been stabbed in the ass.
Stabbed in prison?
Yeah.
How'd they get you?
He had a shank, you know what I mean? And like,
were they trying to kill you, or was it?
Yeah, like dude, like that's what they try and do. You know what I mean? Like, it's either them or you
tried to kill you.
Yeah, like,
but I mean, just like a single hit on you, or was
no?
This
just between just like
everybody's going.
Yeah, it's just like it happens. But it's just like,
how do you go to bed that
That's
night?
why you go like you sleep with your shoes on. Like, you know, like there's just like like you don't eat or drink after another race, right? It's not racist. It's just like what races do, you know what I mean? It's just like you don't do that.
What do you mean you don't eat or
like
drink?
You don't eat and drink after a black. You know what I mean? You know, there's woods, there's skinheads, there's Serranos, Norteños.
So if a black guy or a Mexican guy,
like a white boy, like we couldn't.
You don't share a cup. You mean? What do you mean drink after?
Like if you're black and I'm Beckerwood and here, you want a drink?
Oh, okay. You don't share cups.
No, thank you. You know what I mean?
Or they'll kill you. Or they'll kill you for that.
Yeah,
that's like a rule.
You don't get killed. It's just like you get told like, hey, if you didn't know, like, fuck, I didn't know or whatever. Your first time there, like, all right, check it out. You're gonna do 123 burpees, like some push-ups, right? You get disciplined the first time, you know. And the second time, if you do it again, then you're gonna get taken in the shower for 23 seconds and get chest shots. You know, like just no face shots, because if you get a black eye, then they knew you were fighting. You get taken off the yard and put in the hole. You know what I mean? So you only get like body shots for 23 seconds. That stands for white pride. What, you know what I mean? But so, and then as you keep fucking up, then you get beat up, and then worse, and you get stabbed. You know what I mean? Like it just gets, as the more you fuck up, the worse it gets.
I remember watching another one too, where there was literally it was all bunks, and they were like, "This is the line. This is an imaginary line. This is where the Latinos stay. This is where the white people stay. You don't fucking cross that line." There was a new dude that kept coming in, and he would go on the other side of the bunk bed, and they were like, "No, that's our fucking that's our area." And the Latin dudes will go over to the white boys and be like, "Listen, we're telling your boy, don't let it fucking happen again." And this dude kept fucking up so much that the white boys finally said, "Listen, we don't have your back. If you're going to keep doing that shit, we're going to let them do whatever the fuck they want to do to you, because you're not going to hang us up with that." And that's what I'm saying. All these little rules. I'd be so scared of every rule in there. I wouldn't know what the fuck they are.
Well, when you go in there, So you go in there. The first time when I went in there, I go to the gym. It's a gym, right? Where it's just a huge gym with triple bunks, right? And as I'm waiting to get my my gear for the bed and everything, white boys come up to you like, "Hey, what county you from?" Because it's done by cars, like counties. You know, I'm from Santa Cruz County. That's a car, right? Santa Cruz, there ain't that many dudes. You know what I mean? Like Stockton, there's a whole bunch of them. Modesto, there's a whole bunch, you know what I mean? But, so there's one dude for each car, you know, that runs the county that you're from, but all together, the woods are together, you know, like if it's a race thing, you know? So I'm from Santa Cruz County. Then you get to your bunk, whatever, and dude's from Santa Cruz too. And he comes up and he gives you soups, balls, whatever you need to, if you don't have none or whatever. And then he runs everything down to you. This is what goes down here, you know, you don't. This is our the telephone. That's for the woods. This gives you everything that you can do and what you can't do. You know what I mean? So you are told what you can and can't do. You know what I mean? You fuck that up, then there's consequences. You know, and disrespect. You know, if you're eating at the chow table, you don't reach over someone's plate of food. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
You bump into someone. Excuse me. You know, like. You know, cough and not cover. You know, it's just like when you shit, like with your celly, you know, because you have to shit with your fucking celly there. Like as soon as that turd hits the water, courtesy flush. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just like there's just common sense stuff.
Like you're blowing out heroin on an airplane.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I know I'm learning the rules.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
You can talk through. Yeah. I'm gonna help you out just in case. If you go, you could hit me. I'll go with you. I'll get in trouble just so I can help you out.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, how long are you in prison?
16 months.
That's your longest. Did you go back?
I would do like a couple. I've done violations.
But once you hit prison, is it always prison after that? You never go back to jail, right?
Well, you go to jail first, and then they ship you to prison. You know,
every time.
If you catch a new case, like a new term, you know what I mean? It depends. Nowadays, you have to do something violent. The jails and prisons are so crowded that if you're violent, then you go to prison. But if it's drugs or stuff like that, you're just sitting right, and you'd rather be in prison than jail.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Why?
Because there's more action. There's more. They feed
I'm
you better.
looking for less. Okay. All right.
They feed you better. It's more wide open. You know what I mean? Like, it's the grown ass men. Like, you know, jail's got like the winos.
Would you say there's more of a structure in prison?
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
just a free for all in jail.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's messy in jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
just a hodgepodge of everybody in these cells waiting to go somewhere else, and prison has a full structure.
Yep. Like I caught a violation when I was on parole when I got out, and I was in Santa Cruz. I was supposed to get a pass, and I didn't get a pass, and I got arrested. And they have a contract with Santa Rita, like for violators. If you get violated, you go to Santa Rita. And I was like, oh man, it's all blacks there. And all my buddies would always tell me, dude, you don't want to go there. Like it's not a nice place. And that's where I get to go. I'm like, fuck, right? So I'm like, oh my God, all right, I'm going to go see parole board, and then hopefully they'll sit me off to San Quentin. I'll get to go to San Quentin because I'll have homeboys there, right? So I fucking, I get to the parole board, and they look at my case. I got caught drinking. It was a 5B where you're not supposed to drink. I was drunk, I was on drugs, and I didn't have a pass. So I got 4 months for that. So I'm like, all right, but I'm going to Santa Rita. It's like 1% whites in there. So you got nothing coming, like nothing. And, like, fuck, all right, hopefully when I go to the prison board, dude, they'll give me my time, and I go to San Quentin, dude, I'll be stoked. And
San Quentin's a good?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely. Then Santa Rita's a jail, but it holds 5,000 inmates, so it's as big as a prison.
Right.
And there's 1% white, so it's not very nice. It's not a nice place. It's just as bad as a prison. So I go to the parole board, and it's yard time, and I look, and it's just like, where's the white boys at? There's no white dudes out there at all. Holy shit. Like, that's the real, you know what I mean? Like, you don't get that. There's not a white phone. There's not like dude, you have to go through them to get to a phone. Usually there's a woods phone, you know what I mean? Not this place, dude. It's their jail. The blacks run it. That's their deal. Oakland, San Leandro, whatever, Hayward, like all those county, whatever. But so I go to a parole board and I get 4 months. And I'm like, yes, I get to go to San Quentin. And they're like, anything under 4 months or less, you stay right here. And I was like, fuck. So I ended up.
Did you have problems there? Did you?
Well, you just got nothing coming, and they found out I skated, right? And so I had my mom like print out copies of magazines, and because they didn't believe me, they don't believe it because you could, in jail you could be whatever,
anybody you want,
yeah. So I showed them because their kid skated or whatever. So I give it to them. Can you sign that for my kid? And then they started liking me. You know what I mean? So I got like a little pass. You know what I mean? You work it.
Whatever you can.
Yeah. So it's just shit like that, man. Like.
So when did you finally clean up and say, "Fuck it, I'm not going back"? What happened?
The last time was that violation I got. I was just done. I was just over it, man. Like I'm tired of it. It's old. You know what I mean? I just get told when to shit, eat, drink.
There's no freedom, yeah.
The store, Bob Barker owned, Price is Right, dude? Mm-hmm. He owns the store.
What do you mean?
Him and his wife own the commissary company. So all the shoes, everything says Bob Barker.
Bob Barker?
Yeah.
Bob Barker's the prison shoes?
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
That's where
he makes a killing. That's $4.20.
Did anybody out there know that?
Yeah.
I learned so much on the HoneyDew, yo.
You're the next convict to be on the Price is Right. You know what I mean?
You're telling me that you're wearing Bob Barker shoes in prison?
I tried to take them with me, but they wouldn't let me.
Yeah, no, the Barkers stay here, bro.
Yeah.
The Barkers stay here, man.
They look like fake
Get
Converse.
the feedback, dude. That pussy's not going anywhere either. Somebody can use that.
Yeah.
Holy
crazy.
shit, man. You have a hell of a fucking life story, dude.
It's just it's crazy.
And you're clean and sober now?
Yeah, I am.
You are.
Yep.
And you've been...
I just had a year, January 8th.
Congratulations.
What is it? Yeah,
it's the...
Dude, the only time I've ever been clean and sober this long was when I was locked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm on the streets and it's awesome.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you so much for coming on here. This has been a fantastic fucking story.
Yeah.
I did want to ask you though, because going back to your heroin days, like you talk about doing anything. Steven had mentioned you sold some of your pro skateboards for drugs and things like that too.
Yeah, like I would give all my boards, my pro models to my mom, and when I was hurting, I fucking took them from her and would sell them.
Sign them and sell them and stuff.
Yeah, whatever I could do, So now I'm trying to get them back. On like eBay or whatever and get them back.
You see them out there on eBay? People
I do sometimes, you know what I mean? So I try and get them back for her. I feel bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it sucks. So, dude, being sober is great. Like, things are so much better. I'm taking classes to be an interventionist, to
help
do
people.
intervention, try and
That's
get,
great.
like that don't want to go, talk them in, just trying to give back, help people out.
That's fucking great, man.
Dude, because I just don't want no one to go through what I've been through. You know what I mean? It's miserable. I don't wish drugs, like heroin addiction, on my worst enemy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just not cool, man. And if I could help out a kid and not go down the road I went down, that would be the best feeling ever. You know what I mean?
Good for
it's
you.
fucking crazy how people are dying out there. That fentanyl stuff or whatever.
Oh, man.
Like, they're dying. I
know. I'm from Baltimore. I have my families. I have cousins who've been hooked on bullshit. And that fentanyl, my buddy owns a business in Baltimore, is telling me that this shit's coming in so strong now from overseas that the DEA guys are touching it and getting fucked up.
Right.
Like, heroin's like fucking Smarties compared to the shit they're doing now.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to ask you, because I ask everybody this now, I want to know, if you could go back to your 16-year-old self and give yourself some advice, what would you tell 16-year-old Andy Roy?
I would be yourself, dude. Be yourself. Life goes by pretty fast, dude. Take advantage. Live life to the fucking fullest, dude. Get yours. Don't follow no one else's bullshit. It don't matter what anyone says. Chase what you want to do, because you could do whatever you want in life, man. Get yours. You know what I mean? Because if you want something bad enough, you could get it. But because that's what I did. I just would hang out with friends. I'd seen these tough guys and them be bullied or whatever. Like, I don't hang out with them, because people are scared. Whatever. Like, that shit ain't cool. You know what I mean? Like, go fucking do positive shit and see the world, travel. Like, just make shit happen, you know, because like I said, if there's something you want, dude, you could get it, you know, like you just got to put your mind to it. And the world's so big. There's so much out there to do. I missed a lot of traveling and meeting people and like just seeing the outside world, man. Like I don't want to sit in one place and rot. And that's what I did for so many years. Yeah. I want to see everything. And I would just be like, be yourself, man. And stay away from the fucking drugs, man. Seriously. You know, like.
I mean, look, if you can figure out how to smoke heroin on a 19-hour flight, you can figure out how to do anything.
Dude, I had 8 teeth left, right? Check this out.
What?
I had 8 teeth left.
That's
I
like
pulled
your dream
4
come
out.
true,
I pulled 4 out with fucking pliers, right?
Come on.
4. My buddy's
mean?
neck face shot with.
Fuck.
Close my eyes and he'd get a BB gun and try and shoot it out, and I go.
Come on.
And he fucking missed and hit me in the neck. But he pulled 2 out with pliers, and then I pulled 2 out with pliers.
But were they halfway
There's videos
coming
of
out? You have videos of it?
Yeah, I snuck it in a
Jesus
Spitfire
Christ.
wheel. Like I got my own professional wheel, and so I told him like, dude, give me my own wheel, and I'll pull out a tooth with pliers, and we'll stash it in one of the wheels, and you could sell it. And someone that buys my wheels
somewhere
will
out
find
there
it,
today is a tooth in a wheel.
Dude, my girl I pulled the tooth out, and she goes, dude, we could sell it on eBay. And I go, no one's gonna buy my rotten tooth. Someone bought it for $350. I swear to God. So anyway, yeah, and it was like a little nut. It wasn't barely a tooth, right?
That's ridiculous.
So I pulled out. I got 12 teeth pulled out in prison at once. So I got these, right, and then I had only 8 left or something. And then I went down to 7. So I pulled them out, and one morning I got in a fight with my girlfriend, and she hid my retainers, right? And so I wanted to go skate, and I couldn't find them, so I just left without I just had 8 teeth, you know what I mean? 8 teeth. And I go to the skate park, and I get into it with this dude, and he wants to fight. I'm like, all right, come on, let's go. And I go, he gets in my face, and I go, all right, I'm going to give you the first shot. You get the first one, right? But after that, I'm biting a chunk of your face.
With
like,
these 8 teeth.
Yeah. And he's like, huh? And I'm like, I'm just going to bite it. That was my thing. I don't want to fight no more. I just want to bite fucking the chunk off someone's fucking face. You know what I mean? I bit a dude's fingertip off before. But anyway, so I tell this guy, fucking,
but anyways.
so he's like, all right. So I go, give it your all, right? And I had a separated shoulder. I couldn't really fight, so I'm going to just bite a Hannibal Lecter it. You know what I mean? So he swings. I duck, of course, and we wrap him up, and we dip. I dip him, and we're stuck. And we're stuck upside down, and I'm trying to get to it. We're like, his face is here, my face is there. And I finally get to his face, and I just bite into his cheek, right? And I'm starting to get that fucking chunk, and my fucking one tooth pops out, and it lands in my mouth, right? And we're face to face, and I'm like, and I spit the tooth out, and it hit him in the face, and bounced back and hit me back in the face, and tinkled down. And I was like, fuck. And then he jumps up going, he just bit me in the face. I had a ring of blood around my face. He bit my face. I told you, motherfucker, I'm gonna bite your fucking face, right? But my tooth fell out like a pinball. It like fucking landed in my mouth.
It's going back.
Like a pinball machine. And fell on the ground. I was like, oh, man. Yeah.
Well, I have learned a lot of shit on this episode, man.
Have me back, and I got a lot more.
I know you do. We are scratching the surface, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you so much, Andy, for coming on. Will you please, one more time, promote whatever you'd like, whatever the hell you can remember.
All right.
Yeah.
Rip Ride Podcast with me. I do it at Pizzanista, Andy Roy 18 Instagram. I do Dear Andy, link my bio with that stuff. Andy Roy 18 at yahoo.com. You can find me with all that stuff. And that's it, man. That's it. That's me.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it, man. Pleasure to have you on. I am Ryan Sickler on all social media, ryansickler.com. Talk to y'all next week.
Yeah.